If you've been training consistently for years and you still don't recognize your body in the mirror, I made this video for you. I was a personal trainer and nutritionist for 9 years and an active duty Army officer before I ever started coaching online in 2020. I've coached over 1,800 women through positive mental and physical transformation, and after 1,800 women, I can tell you exactly what's been keeping your body stuck, and that has nothing to do with your effort. You've been running a plan that was never built for the woman that you've become. Today, I'm walking you through 5 specific things the lifting industry has been teaching wrong for the high-achieving woman, and by the end, you'll know what's been failing you and what's actually going to change your body. Let's get into it. Traditional lifting and physique shaping are not the same thing. Different goals, different methodologies, different bodies. You're lifting hard right now. You're smart, you're disciplined, you're consistent. You're running a traditional lifting program and expecting a physique shaping outcome. That gap is why you're frustrated. That gap is where these 5 mistakes come from. All right, mistake number 1. Strength does not equal shape. This is the first thing I had to throw out for my whole career. Traditional lifting is built around one question. Can you move more weight? It's reps and sets and progressive overload on the big compound lifts. That's a strength program. Strength programs are fantastic if your only goal is strength. But the goal of the woman that we coach isn't strength for its own sake. She wants a specific, powerful physique that speaks before she does. Lifted upper glute, defined shoulders, and a midsection that finally responds, and a back that gives her that sexy, powerful shape. That's a strength and sculpting outcome. And sculpting requires a different question entirely. The question physique shaping asks is muscle developing in the right places for you to create the shape you actually want? This question produces a different body than strength training does. I've watched women back squat for 10 years and still not have the upper glute shape or the glute ham tie that she's been chasing. The squat doesn't build that specific muscle the way that you want it built. They were optimizing for strength and expecting a sculpting outcome, and the plan was never aimed at what they wanted. If you've been training hard for years and the shape isn't coming, the issue is not your effort. The category of training you've been running was never aimed at the body that you actually want. Mistake number 2, compound lifts alone miss the shaping muscles. This second mistake is the cruelest one because the woman making it is doing everything right. You're lifting, you're progressing, you're adding weight to the bar every single week, you're checking every box the strength industry told you to check, and the shape you want still is not showing up. Here's why. The compound lifts, the squats, deadlifts, presses, the rows, they're the backbone of every traditional lifting program. Honestly, a physique shaping too. Listen, I'm not anti-compound, okay? We program them every single week. But the muscles that shape a feminine, sculpted, athletic, sexy physique, the upper glute that gives that lifted shape, the medial delt that builds shoulder width, the lower lats that taper your back and waist, and the serratus that defines your sides, those muscles don't get adequately loaded by compound lifts alone. They need targeted, specific isolation work with the right amount of volume. And here's what the strength industry has done with that work. They've called it fluff, accessory, optional, save it for the end if you have time. Are you kidding me? In physique shaping, the fluff is a massive part of the program. The hip thrust at a specific angle with feet elevated or not, and progressive overload over every 4 weeks. That's not optional in our programming, it's the work. The lateral raise with specific tempo and pause, same answer. Great results every single time. When we tell our clients we're spending serious time on what their last coach called accessory, they don't believe it at first. In fact, they question it until they see that physique shape, which for a lot of women, they can feel at 4 weeks and shows between week 8 and week 12. It's incredible, truly. All right, mistake number 3, the cardio problem. This one took me a long time to fully accept, to fully understand. For years, I told my clients more work meant more fat loss, calories in, calories out. Lift 3 to 5 times a week, go on a run, a hike, steps. If you're not seeing results, do more, eat less, more activity. I was wrong, very wrong. Because here's what's actually happening for the high achieving woman. She walks into the gym already carrying a saturated nervous system. She's been in meetings since 8 a.m. and probably thinking about work since 2 a.m. or 5 a.m. She's holding deadlines, kids, decisions, and a mental load that doesn't turn off. Her cortisol is already elevated before she ever picks up a weight. When she adds another high intensity cardio session on top of that, her body doesn't read it as fat burning effort. It reads it as one more threat, let alone if she's in a deficit. So her cortisol stays elevated. And when cortisol stays elevated, your body starts storing fat, especially around the good old midsection, maybe even the bat wings. It breaks down lean muscle tissue and your appetite goes up disproportionately. You get softer, smaller, hungrier, and stuck. So you train harder, eat cleaner, and your abs still are not showing up. Where's the definition in your lower body? When I cut my clients' cardio by 60 to 70% and built the rest of their training around physique shaping plus actual nervous system regulation and optimization, their midsection and every part of their body started responding the way they wanted it to, and their life got so much easier. Less cardio, better body, less stress, happier woman. This is not being lazy. This is supporting your nervous system, which is already full, because you need the proper input to be able to output at the level that you want to output. All right, mistake number 4. Long-term dieting destroys your metabolism. Most high achievers walk into my consult saying the answer is less food. I just need to be more locked up. I'm eating clean, doing everything right. I probably just need to give it more time. Hell no! You've been at 1,400 calories for years, skipping breakfast, low calories at lunch, training traditional lifting instead of physique shaping. You're trying to lose fat by eating less and lifting in a program that's not even built for the result that you want. And it stopped working a long time ago. Your metabolism didn't break because you ate too much. It broke because you ate too little for too long. And when your body registers food as scarce, even if it's self-imposed through restriction, it does what it's designed to do. It downshifts your metabolic rate to keep you alive. Hormones follow that pattern. Your thyroid output drops, leptin tanks, your hunger cues recalibrate, your energy goes bye-bye. Your system protects you by slowing the whole thing down. You cannot willpower your way past a survival response. Hate to break it to you, love. You have to send the body a different signal. The signal it needs is consistent, adequate food plus an optimized nervous system plus time. At Queens of Iron, metabolic healing is often phase 1. Before we ever cut calories, we slowly bring food up. Now, this looks different for every single woman, right? But your body starts to trust that food is coming. Your metabolic rate recovers and optimizes. Your hormones come back online better than they ever were before, and your hunger normalizes. Then and only then do we dial calories for fat loss. And the fat loss actually lasts because your foundation is healthy and fit. This is why our queens don't rebound after they lose fat. We never cut into a broken system. Mistake number 5. Your brain is the missing variable. This one is the one that took me the longest to figure out and really deeply optimize. And it's the one that separates everything I do now from how I was trained. Every traditional program treats the body, the reps, the sets, the macros, the calories, the lifestyle. It assumes the brain just cooperates on willpower, discipline, knowledge, information, right? But if you give a woman the right plan, she'll execute it. After training 1,800 women, I can tell you that assumption is dead wrong. Your brain is the missing variable. The reason you follow the plan Monday through Wednesday and fall off on Thursday or fall off in the evenings isn't willpower. It is neural wiring. Neural wiring. Old patterns running subconsciously laid down years ago when you were 16, 22, 28, or even as a younger child. Food as comfort. All or nothing thinking that codes one slip as total failure. Perfection as a way you've always felt safe. None of those patterns get touched by a macro calculator. None of them get touched by a meal plan. They live in the subcortex, the part of your brain that runs automatic. When you're tired, when you're stressed, when your week falls apart, the subcortex wins every time. You can journal about it. You can affirm something different. You can visualize a better outcome. None of that touches the layer where the patterns actually live. Mindset work changes what you think. The patterns that derail you, the ones that you're running that derail you, are running 3 layers underneath that. Mindset cannot reach that. Applied neuroscience can. About 2 years into my online coaching career, I met a neuroscientist who studies elite performers, and she told me something that rebuilt everything I've been doing. You're working at the wrong layer. The pattern change happens subcortically, and you cannot get there with journaling. So I learned how. I went for my PhD in psychology and theology, got board certified as a health-focused hypnotherapist. I built protocols, I tested them with our clients, and now every Queens of Iron client comes in and gets access to my proprietary 15-minute audio sessions that live daily inside their training app. These aren't meditations. These are not affirmations. They are targeted neural input that creates neuroplasticity around food, consistency, and the patterns that have been derailing you for a decade. Most women feel the wiring shift between week 6 and week 12. That's the real timeline, not week 3. It takes time, consistency, and a willingness to show up and do the internal work. So here's the synthesis. If your body isn't changing despite years of effort, the problem has never been you. The plan you were handed was not built for the woman you've become. 5 things that have been working against you. 1, you've been strength training when you needed sculpting. 2, you've been doing compounds without the targeted shaping work. 3, you've been adding cardio on top of a saturated nervous system. 4, you've been restricting when your metabolism needs healing. 5, you've been told the answer is more discipline when the actual answer is neural rewiring. Queens of Iron exists because I refuse to keep handing women a plan that wasn't fully built for them and their needs. Our method has 3 distinct layers: physique shaping for the body, metabolic healing for the foundation along with lifestyle nutrition so it lasts for you forever, and applied neuroscience for the rewiring. They reinforce each other. None of them work alone. Together, they are the only thing that actually moves the body as a high-achieving woman and keeps it moved. Now, 2 things to close. First, if anything in this video names something you've been feeling but couldn't articulate, hit subscribe. Next week, I'm going deep on the identity gap, why your body still looks like last year's model of you, and what's actually required to close that gap. Second, if you want to talk about working together, the consultation link is in the description. Queens of Iron is highly selective. We only work with women who are ready to show up, do the work, and leave as a more elevated and elegant version of themselves. They are the ones who are always hungry for growth and are driven. So if that's you, book the call. Can't wait to talk. If not, I genuinely hope you find what fits for you and that you eventually make it here. Either way, I'm so grateful that you're here, and I'll see you next week.